My name is Dr. Michael Agbe. I will be presenting prescription drug pricing and promoting competition to address current increase in pharmaceutical or prescription drug prices. I will review prescription drug prices, why prescription cost is high in the United States, role of competition in reducing prescription drug prices, suggest policies to decrease pharmaceutical costs, show some advantages and disadvantages of suggested policy options, and also recognize the role of government and other agencies in implementing this policy change. We all know that healthcare cost continues to grow. The national health expenditure as a share of gross domestic product has increased rapidly to almost 17.9% of the total gross domestic product, and is expected to rise to over 20% in 2025. Prescription drug is a third of healthcare costs after hospitals and providers. Estimated suggested treatment drug will continue to represent a larger portion of overall healthcare spending. The new specialty drugs are major drivers of this increase in prescription drug prices. It's known that Americans spend more on prescription drugs than any country in the world. The average price of Humira, commonly used medications for arthritis and other immunological disorders, cost about $2,699 in the United States versus $822 in Switzerland and $1,362 in the United Kingdom. Why the prescription or pharmaceutical drugs cost so high in the United States? There are so many reasons that have been advanced for this. Common suggested reasons include drug manufacturers' ability to set prices without any constraint. This is usually in order to maximize higher profits. Lack of price control from government and from other regulators, lack of national health services to regulate and negotiate drug prices, absence of information on comparative efficacy of various drugs, laws that prohibit formulary exclusion, narrow drug substitution laws, orphan drugs, drugs rebates, and patient assistance programs, pharmacy benefit managers, among others. Three huge factors that prevent competition, usually based on monopoly. The FDA has monopoly over almost all new medications or drugs entering the market. Drug manufacturer also has monopolies to set the drug prices and the drugs itself. Patent laws give monopoly to manufacturers for over 20 years. Generic drug prices have declined while branded drug prices have nearly doubled in price, and these have allowed new medications to enter the market, and they're often branded and have patent for several years. Competition obviously lowers prescription drug prices. Often lower drug prices improves drug adherence, improves healthcare quality of care, improves time to market for drug manufacturers, and decrease overall healthcare costs in America. Factors necessary for competition to occur will include presence of many sellers, substitutable products, lower barriers to entry, and availability of information to providers and patients. There are barriers to competition in the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical industry is an imperfect market. there's usually a high startup cost. There's a patent that enables them to have branded medications for many years. The regulatory environment is favorable to manufacturers, drug manufacturers, to allow innovations and risk taking. Approval requirement for most of the medications takes several years through FDA. Providers and patient resistance to change. Patients familiar with a particular medications, you tend to always stay with that particular medications. There's often lack of information. Policy options suggested include increased efficacy of generic drug approval, allowing temporary importation of drugs, discouraging improper use of patent exclusivity. Of course, these policy changes have advantages and disadvantages. Lower overall cost when in reference to generic drugs, increased competition among manufacturers of drugs, promoting generic drug use among providers and patients to overcome generic drug use. Temporary importation, of course, will address shortages and reduce subsidies to other countries. As you know, other countries are subsidized from research and development. All the cost of research and development are passed on to Americans, increasing the cost of available drugs. Patent exclusivity allow more manufacturers to make new drug quickly and take risk in making new drugs. Of course, reducing patent exclusivity or removal of patent exclusivity will improve drug to market time, and although this may stiffen innovation and growth. Policy options will need government regulations to rebalance incentive for innovations and competition, increase government involvement in healthcare delivery. It will also involve Congress and regulators in addressing patent exclusivity and generic drug use. Pharmacy board managers, these are usually pharmacy managers who have contract with manufacturers, and they exclusively determine the choice of medications for insurance and payers. Regulation of pharmacy board managers may help implement these policy changes. General group purchasing organizations, those who directly purchase medications for different pharmacies. And drug manufacturers, they have to play a significant role in carrying out these policy changes. There are advantages to these policy changes, which include promote competition, lower drug prices, increase medication adherence, and improve quality of care. Disadvantages obviously include decreased innovation and risk taking, reduced incentive for drug manufacturers to take risk, and importation of inferior drug products. Thank you.